Hello, September 17th on the bridge again, crossing over from Mercer Island. We are with a lot of traffic, it's loud, sorry, over to Seattle. And I wanted to mention a couple of experts in the field. Sister Helen Prejean, who is the top leading advocate, hero, champion of eliminating the death penalty. So much knowledge and so much experience, and she has a couple of great books, Dead Man Walking and Death of Innocence, where she chronicles some of the issues that I mentioned in the previous interview we just did. I hope you can hear us over all these trucks. And her movie, the movie they adapted from her book, Dead Man Walking, I highly recommend if you can't get a chance or don't have time to read the whole book. It's excellent. But Death of Innocence shows several cases where folks were innocent and they went to execution. And she has a lot of examples of the same issues that I mentioned. And you can pick that up in the Death of Innocence. And there's another person, Mr. Mark Furman, a former homicide detective from the Los Angeles area, who has best-selling nonfiction books on murders. And he also has Death and Justice, a 2005 publication, where he came out against the death penalty after investigating over a dozen cases. And he also chronicles those cases, and it shows the issues that I mentioned: wrongful conviction, snitch testimony, and false eyewitness. But it also shows other issues, and one of the other leading issues is faulty forensics, or falsified forensics in this case, in some of the cases that he shares in that book, Death and Justice. And I highly recommend his book also, and his last chapter and epilogue really summarize what he found over all those cases very professionally, eloquently, on all levels. Mr. Mark Furman came to the conclusion that we should no longer have the death penalty in the United States anywhere, because we are human beings who make mistakes. We are human beings with egos and agendas. We cannot take the chance of killing innocents. And beyond that, he also got to know people personally within the system on both sides, victims, families, and those on death row's families. And he comes to make a statement that if his son were ever to be involved in such a crime and needed to be incarcerated, he would not want his own son to be executed. He would want him to have life in prison so that he could still be a part of his life. And in Mark Furman's words, if he could forgive his own son, then the question here is we should be able to forgive other people's sons and daughters also, and come to a place of treating each other with human dignity and respect. So those are two very excellent people and writers in their fields. I highly recommend their books. Sister Helen Prejean, Death of Innocence, and Mr. Mark Furman, Death and Justice. Thank you. Bye.